10 unsolved murders that will keep you up at night. Any unsolved crime is interesting enough, but some go beyond the ordinary and enter the weird. I don't just mean strange. I mean extremely terrifying crimes that would keep an amateur sleuth up all night trying to figure out the mystery. There are several lists of unsolved homicides on the internet because people love lists. Take a look at this video. Number 10. Who drove Bella into the Wicked Elm? The boundary of Hagley Wood is visible when you travel down the A456 Hagley Road between central Birmingham and Wolverton, Shropshire. It appears intimidating from the road. It's simple to picture a gothic heroine hiding out in the tree shadows as night falls, hazy and ominous. Of course, a mystery that has persisted since the early 1940s resides there. 3 boys searching for bird nests on April 18, 1943, came across an alluring wych elm, one of the most prevalent varieties of European elm trees. As one of the boys climbed the tree, he peered down through a knothole and noticed a skull with hair clinging to it and unmistakably human teeth. The huge trunk of the tree was practically hollow. The tree had been filled with someone's body. Bella's fate is still unknown, except for certain theories that she was sacrificed by witches as part of a ritual. The woman might have been a spy who knew too much since it was a period of war. Number 9. American Springfield 3, the 1990s. 2 girls and their mother vanished into the night one day after graduating from high school at around 2 in the morning. Cheryl Levitt, Suzanne's mother, Stacy, and the 3 of them vanished without a trace. This particular case is an oddball's oddball. There was no evidence of a break-in or struggle, and everything around the missing people's home, including Levitt and Streeter's dog, was undamaged. Number 8. A Boy in a Box. On February 23, 1957, a man discovered a newborn bassinet box with a dead person inside it while inspecting his muskrat traps. In the woods off Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The man chose not to report the body since he was aware that his muskrat traps were against the law. 2 days later, Frederick Benosis, a college student, was watching girls at the Good Shepherd School when he, too, discovered the body. Benosis was likewise hesitant to alert the police, but he eventually did so the following day. The body was that of a small child who has since earned the nicknames America's Unknown Child and Boy in the Box. Number 7. Black Dahlia. A woman's dismembered body was found in an empty lot in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, on January 15, 1947. The scene was so bizarre that Betty Berzinger, the person who found the body, initially believed she had found a dismembered mannequin. The body appeared to have been cleansed and was bloodless. Moreover, the face had been cut from ear to ear. The hands were positioned over the head, the elbows were bent, and the legs were split out. The top and lower body components were set up 1 foot apart. Under the buttocks were the intestines. The police have interrogated numerous suspects and confessed Black Dahlia killers throughout the years. The Black Dahlia's murder, however, remains one of the most puzzling unsolved homicide cases in history because the killer has not yet been apprehended. Number 6. The Icebox Killings. On June 23, 1965, Fred and Edwina Rogers' home received a routine visit by Houston patrolmen. One of the patrolmen there that day, Charles Bullock, remembered the scene as follows. Just meat was stacked in the refrigerator when I opened it. My companion, who was standing next to me, remarked that it appeared as though a hog had been killed. When we were about to shut the refrigerator, we realized it was a body when we noticed the head in the vegetable bin's bottom. During an investigation, police learned that Edwina, 72, and Fred, 81, had been murdered a week before being put in the refrigerator. Fred's head had been smashed, while Edwina had been savagely abused before being shot. Thereafter, his inside organs were flushed down the toilet. Although the murderer was never discovered, the elderly couple's son Charles, who was 43 at the time, remains the main suspect. Number 5. The Room 1046 Mystery. On January 2, 1935, a guy entered Kansas City's hotel president and requested Room 1046. Roland T. Owen was his name, and his home address was listed in Los Angeles, according to the hotel's register. He had brown hair, a scar across his skull, and a cauliflower ear. The only items in his suitcase were a toothpaste tube, a comb, and brushes. The maid visited room 1046 the following morning. She assumed Owen had left because it was locked from the outside. She was shocked to see Owen in the space, indicating that someone else had earlier dropped by and locked him in. Owen had undergone torture. Owen said, "Nobody," when the police questioned who did this to him, explaining that his injuries were caused by his falling into the bathtub. His clothing mysteriously vanished. The police discovered that Roland T. Owen did not exist when they attempted to check Owen's identity. Owen, now known as John Doe, passed away in the hospital and was scheduled to be buried in the Potter's Field. Number 4. The Hall Mills Murder Investigation. The bodies of a man and a woman were found under a crabapple tree on September 16, 1922, when two teenage lovers were out for a stroll. The woman had been shot 3 times, whereas the man had only received 1 shot. The woman's tongue had been removed. It was later found. The area around them was littered with torn love messages. No one was charged, and the matter was dismissed. The pastor wanted to dissolve his marriage and elope with Mills, a maid who had previously worked for the Halls, admitted 4 years later. Number 3. Green Eyes with Charles Morgan. On March 22, 1977, prominent Tucson escrow agent Charles "Chuck" Morgan left his home as normal but did not come home for 3 days. He revealed to his perplexed wife that when he did return, he was unable to talk because his neck was covered in a hallucinogenic chemical that may kill him or send him insane. He also acknowledged being an American fiscal agent. Morgan needed a week to recuperate. Morgan vanished again 2 months after his initial disappearance, though. 9 days later, his wife got a strange phone from an unidentified woman saying, "Chuck is okay." 12:18 Ecclesiastical. Morgan's body was found in the desert 2 days later. He had received a headshot to the back. The tool of murder? Own weapon. The sheriff's office determined that Morgan committed suicide. But why did Morgan wear a bulletproof vest if it was a suicide? Why did he wear a holster and carry a knife in his belt? Even though no suspects were ever identified, it is thought that the mafia was involved since Morgan allegedly performed escrow work for them and had just testified in a covert inquiry into criminal activity. Yet, Morgan's murder continues to rank among the most puzzling unsolved murder cases in recent American history. Number 2. USA, JonBenet Ramsey, 1990s. The day after Christmas, a 6-year-old beauty queen was discovered in her home's basement, having been beaten with a duct-taped mouth and strangled. When this young girl's murder officially ruled a homicide, it didn't take long for her family to come under suspicion. Number 1. USA, the 1990s, Blair Adams. What would you say if the paranoid man you were warning about getting killed was killed? When Blair was finally able to enter Seattle, he was just about to collapse. Next, he took a plane to Washington, D.C., where he leased a car and drove to Knoxville. He was slain there, in the parking lot of a hotel, with approximately $4,000 in cash flapping and floating all around him. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.